Donald Trump gonna crash this economy, dude?
Are we gonna crash?
What the hell is gonna happen?
He's gonna crash all kinds of stuff. He's crashing the FBI. He's crashing the border.
Yeah, he's doing exactly what he says he's gonna do. So you can't let what you see on the outside right now, just breach it down. Is Donald Trump gonna crash this economy, dude?
Are we gonna crash?
Is he gonna crash it or is he not? I think that's the question. And if you stick around and listen, you're going to find out that us two guys spend a crap ton of time going in, diving in deep at night, scrolling when I can't sleep, and figuring out what the hell is going to happen.
It's okay to crash. Sometimes you got to crash.
You got to crash to regrow.
This thing. He's going to crash it. Boom!
And why is he going to do that, Josh?
Because he's going to reset it.
Got to get a reset.
Sometimes you have to rebuild something is you have to tear it apart. And he's going to obliterate this thing.
And how's he going to do it?
He's going to crash the stock market so we can make the Fed to lower the interest rate and lower inflation. He's going to crash all kinds of stuff. He's crashing the FBI. He's crashing the border. He's blowing up terrorists for random bombs hitting. I saw one the other day. A guy was walking down the road and a bomb just went poof. And then it sat there and nothing was left.
I love it. I love it. I think we need some major change.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
And that's what the people voted for, right? That's what I love about Donald Trump is he told you exactly what he was going to run on. We, the people, said, I like that.
Yeah.
Right? And then what did he do?
He
went directly in there and he started doing it.
And the libs, whoa.
Watch out.
You're crashing.
I'm crashing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we need to start over? Okay.
Yeah, he's doing exactly what he says he's going to do. So
everybody's freaking out right now.
Well,
but I don't even think everybody's freaking out. The people I talk to are like, man, this sucks. But internally, I think a lot of people know that, like, this needs to happen.
It does, and it's going to be hard. And it's going to be tough.
Changes, bro. Nobody likes changes.
Nobody likes changes. And, and I think you said it good at the beginning is the crash is coming. But it's going to be on purpose, and he's got a reason for doing it, and you got to open your eyes up.
Well, people are, not people. I think the people are smart. I think it's a narrative that makes you question a lot of things. You know what I mean? Like, I'll give you an example. The common narrative that you hear from Canada is we are throwing it's like we as Americans are being the negative audience here. We're throwing all these tariffs on these people. We're throwing all the tariffs on the Canadian government. They've been having 200, 300, 400% tariffs on us the entire time. And then we're wanting to throw 20, 30, 40, 50% tariffs on them immediately. And they're freaking out. They've been taking advantage of us the entire time.
And I saw something interesting last night, because Donald Trump, in my opinion, is against free trade.
No, he wants free trade. He wants it to be fair and equal.
That's where it's fair and equal, but not free trade.
Not, hey, you go charge us 300% to import our goods and services in, and we charge you nothing to import them in over here.
I don't disagree. And I think, he's got some very legitimate reasons behind the tariffs, and I'll kind of go over what I think. And, number one, I don't think we've been treated fairly for a long time. Right. And I think a lot of it, from my readings, is tied back into the World Economic Forum.
Bro, you are wrong. We've been getting treated fairly. We made the agreement. We agreed to the terms and conditions.
But what I think is that we agreed, but
you can't get mad at we make our people in charge make corrupt, bad deals on behalf of those people.
There it is. Right? That's what I was trying to get to.
You can't get mad at Canada for making a better deal than what we made for ours.
I don't disagree with what you're saying, and I'm glad you went there because I think the American people put the presidents in place. Right, we can all agree upon that. No, at least up until the 2016, 2017 deal, right? We can all agree that I believe that it was probably fair for a very, very long time as far as how the president was elected, and it was elected by we the people. Now, however, I will say that
it's getting deep, folks. It's getting
it is. It's getting kind of deep. I will say that, like the president, like Biden, they're coming out and they're proving that he wasn't really pulling. He was just a puppet, right? He was a puppet, and the people like George Soros behind the scenes are manipulating everything that is going on.
Well, it's so much more simple. Because how many times over the last years you've watched the news? You're like, there's no way we're spending money on that. There's no way that Our people want this to happen.
That's a fact.
And then you get in there and somebody like Trump and Doge and agree with Elon, not agree with Elon, agree with the way he's doing it, agree with not the way he's doing it. The dude's smart. The dude's the richest person in the world for a reason because he's smart, he's efficient, and he's effective.
Well, I don't know about the world. They always say the Saudi's got a lot of money.
Richest individual.
Fair enough.
Probably not family, but individual,
okay.
right?
That's probably fair,
but
yeah.
You start reading all these things, and over time, growing up, you start seeing all these stupid things happening on TV, and people, they're like, there's no way this stuff... These guys were corrupt.
100%. They're padding their pockets.
You know, Nancy Pelosi's worth like $200 million, making $200 grand a year. How's that add up? I mean, we think we're pretty good business people, but we're not that good.
No, nobody's... Well, there's people that are that good, but politicians... Come on.
Yeah,
right?
she's outpacing Warren Buffett.
No, let's go. I mean, just use your head for a minute.
Last time I checked, that girl could barely even talk.
Well, yeah. How does that even add up? It doesn't add up, folks. It does not add up. So, to your point, right, is back on the tariffs, right, is there's a reason behind them. And in my opinion, he really does genuinely want to bring the jobs back to America.
100%. I grew up in a small town.
I mean, look at where we're at, right? Is, we get all these people are tariffing the goods that are coming back to us. We are reliant upon China and Taiwan and this, that, and the other country to provide us our goods, and we're not even doing it here because they've made it so cheap to do it over there that, if they said, whoop, you can't have it anymore.
They did during COVID.
And we're in a bad...
we need that PPE. You don't need as bad as we do.
That's right, the gloves.
Yeah,
stuff.
all the respirators.
That's right.
All that stuff. They're like, oh, man, I get it. You guys are going through a hard time over here, but so are we, and we have the manufacturing processes and plants.
Yeah, so you're shit out of luck. You can wait your turn.
Yeah, go ahead and die. And, by the way, we made that shit.
Yeah, and then we're going to wait, and then we're going to hold up all the containers out there in the ports, and it was just a cluster fuck.
Yeah. And everybody's worried about, the S&P 500. The only people that are worried about that stuff are people that have their money in it. 61% of people have their money in there.
Yeah, which is a lot.
What happens to the lower? Everybody's he's making it detrimental to the lower income. The lower income people don't have their money in the S&P 500. They don't, or any stocks or bonds or mutual funds. They could give two shits what that little graph does every day. They could give two shits. That's why he's going to crash it a little bit. Yeah, it's going to hurt. We're going to look at it and be like, man, that sucks. I lost a little bit of money. And then the lower to middle income class people are going to get their jobs back, right? They're going to have opportunity to make some more money. They don't care about the market. They don't care about the stock markets. They don't have any money in that thing.
I read a little bit into that part too. And from what I can understand, that he's trying to push people to buy treasury bonds. Well,
it's going to force them to, because what happens is when there's a lot of volatility in the market, investors want to put their people's money into something a little bit safer, which is treasury bonds, etc. Right? So he's going to force that, and which ultimately the Fed's going to have to say, man, our inflation is going down, right? And the economy is starting to fall off the edge a little bit. We probably need to boost the economy by doing what? Lowering interest rates. Not only that, if you start reading about all this data, we have been dumb for so long that we've been borrowing all this money for all this stupid stuff. You go down the road and you see somebody sitting in a tent and living in a tent, and veterans not getting taken care of, and teachers not getting paid enough, and all this stuff, and driving down the road in your nice car and you're popping out tires because your roads and streets and bridges are just shit. You know what I mean? And we're sending out money to all these other countries, our money, and we're not even taking care of the people in the U.S. of A. Right?
And I think the people are they're fed up with it.
Well, we've been financing. We're broke. So
let's get that straight. Really,
you don't give somebody else your money. You kind of be a little bit conservative, but hey, I really want to help you out, but right now I got to help myself out and get my. So then later on, I can't help you out.
That's right.
Right? But the issue with it is we are giving everybody else our money, and we've been doing it through loans. $30-something trillion, $36 trillion in debt. And I was reading the other day, 30+% of that $36 trillion in debt comes due this year.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to refinance our debt. So what happens when you want to refinance your debt? You want to refinance your debt on the lowest rate you possibly can. And that's what he's doing. He's tanking the market. he is going to refinance our debt at low rates. And therefore, the people are also going to be able to take a hold of it. I own a bunch of multifamilies. Let me tell you something. It sucks owning multifamilies when you're running your cash flow spreads at 5.5 and 6 and you're financing them at 7, 8.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to make money.
You don't make money.
Well, you said something interesting about refinancing our debt. So why that's so important is we refinance it down at a lower rate. That means we're paying less in interest. That means we're able to pay back the debts that we owe faster, right? Because we obviously are broke as a joke.
Yeah, and then you have to reduce spending, which it sucks when you reduce spending. Everybody watching this podcast, if you have a family or not have a family, and you overspend 1 month, maybe the next month, to catch back up, you reduce your spending. Maybe you quit eating out that month. Maybe you don't go on another vacation that month. You save up, right? It's okay to overspend sometimes if you know what you're doing and you don't keep on doing it over and over and over and over and over and racking up a bunch of debt.
Yeah, and that's what we've been doing.
Well,
Over and over and over.
It's crazy.
And over. And
we haven't even been spending on ourselves. That's the issue. Well, it's not like we're floss balling and we got yachts and best high-rise towers and gold freaking deals. We've been giving everybody else our money. It's stupid.
And not only giving them money, we're giving them money for the most absurd shit.
It's stupid.
It's hitting. Like, you're like, what? Right? And then, in my opinion, They give it to these absurd places and for absurd things and guarantee you that they got kickbacks to do that.
Oh, they all did.
Yeah, I know. And it's just the most insane thing to me.
I read this little article. I don't know if it was I read it or listened to it, but it popped up somewhere. And it was talking about the amount of defense attorneys and criminal law attorneys being searched in D.C. area.
Oh, it's crazy. I read the same thing.
It was like, it's up like 4,000% or something.
Yeah,
People are nervous because
that sounds like guilt to me.
Yeah, they know what they did.
Exactly, they do. That's.
But I mean, it would be hard not to do it. They've been doing it for decades and getting by with it.
And I think that's what's been going on. We can't. It didn't just happen overnight. You know what I mean? This shit's been going on for a long time, and that's why, the Democratic Party right now. I feel for them. Some of them that were in the right. I say some of them that were. There's probably some in there that were in the right, that have no idea what's going on.
Who's that Democrat Federline?
I don't know.
He's up in Pennsylvania or somewhere, and he's like, when he first came out, he wears like Carhartt coats and normal clothes. Like, he doesn't dress like a politician, look like a politician, and he's like,
I've seen him.
You should watch him. Because at first I was like, this guy's an idiot, but now I'm like, okay, he's what our old Democrats, Republicans used to be. Back in the day, if you're a Democrat, Republican, Independent, whoever got elected, you're like, that's my president.
Yeah.
Now you're like, that's not my president. I hate him. He sucks. Why would you ever say that? Even though I did not like Joe Biden, I still supported him.
Yeah.
I wish he was a little bit more coherent, not completely retarded. But, I mean, I still supported him. I mean, at the end of the day,
well, he's still your president.
He's still representing we the people.
Yeah. Which was a little scary, I'm not gonna lie. But here we are. We're in a new stage, and like I said, in my opinion, you can't let what you see on the outside right now, just breach it down. Because at the end of the day, he is doing things in a very strategic way, and he's a business guy, and that's what America needs. America is a business at the end of the day, right? America is a business. And if you go into this and you have no idea about business, you're just going to keep spending money and getting in debt and
crazy.
And he's coming in here, and what I think is going to happen is he's going to get the bad name. He's going to have to go in here and reset this place, right? And that's exactly what he's doing. And he's going to get ostracized for it,
nobody likes change. I don't care who it is and what it is, Nobody likes change. For the good, better, indifferent. Nobody likes change.
I know.
But this change has to happen. It has to happen.
We have to change our ways, man. I mean, because if we don't, right?
The American dream will not be any longer, and people around the world come here to experience and have the opportunity to live this dream out. And if that dream is not an option anymore,
then why even come here?
Yeah, why not stay where you're at?
Yeah.
If it's the same, you know what I mean? Dictatorships. You don't want to be in China. China sucks. You know what I mean?
I've never been there.
I don't want to go. I mean, I'd like to go, but I don't want to live there.
Yeah.
Me
either. I want to live in Costa Rica.
Costa Rica sounds pretty good. That's
Yeah.
like a blue. What do they call those? A blue country where they live forever. They eat healthy. They have no stress.
I mean, I'm sure you remember, right? I mean, it was pretty badass. But anyways, so
Do you support Trump? That's what I would like to know. Comment below. Do you support Trump? If you don't support Trump, that's fine too.
Tell us why.
Tell us why. Maybe we have a different perspective. Do we agree? Or I'll speak for myself. Do I agree with everything he's doing? Mostly, yes. But do I agree with some of the tactics and how he approaches it? Do I think he's as well polished as I would like him to be, presidential? No. But at the end of the day, I'll just give you my personal opinion. And since you're watching, I can do that. The best leaders I've been around in my entire life sometimes are very brash.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do not have the best approach.
yeah,
They have to be. That's their personality. That's how they get shit done. You know what I mean? So they're not the most well-spoken, but their actions are what's most important. I'd rather have somebody that's not as polished. They get up there. They tell you how it's going to be. You might not like the way he said it. You might not like the way it came out, right? But he always does what he says he's going to do. And that's what he's doing right now. He came in there. He told you what he was going to do.
and now he's doing it, and people are freaking out.
Well, because that doesn't normally happen.
I
From a politician, usually you get up there and they tell you all this bull crap, and then next thing you know, they get in there and nothing happens. And it's the same stuff. But Donald Trump's not doing that. You know what I mean? He is the American dream.
Yep.
He's a billionaire guy with a hot-ass wife and a good family, right?
And we're learning a little bit more about Barron here lately.
Barron's like a 6'7" tall.
It seems to me like he's a lot like his dad.
Yeah.
More than any of the other ones, from what I can tell so far. Yeah.
And he has it's kind of like being an entrepreneurship with Donald Trump. He has every single thing. Sometimes you feel like you have every single thing against you, and you just cannot win. You know what I mean?
You gotta fight
try
your
to
way
do
out.
the right thing, and then it looks like you're doing the wrong thing. You have a purpose while you're doing it, and it gets misconstrued. There's 1,000 reasons why entrepreneurship is so tough. You know what I mean? And right now, he is being I think his whole life he built up. He had all these levels that he had to go through to get where he's at, to get to where he's at now. Like, this is the toughest test he's ever been through.
I guarantee you, because like you said earlier, it's like you've got this whole media monstrosity, right? And all they're doing is tearing you down and tearing you down,
Hell yeah.
and tearing you down. And you got to get up every day. You got to continue on the same path, right? Not let the money get to you, not let other people get to you. He knows what he has to do. He gets up every day. And he works tirelessly, and he does it.
And he might
does
die.
exactly what he
He
says,
might
and he
die.
might die. And speaking of which,
He got shot.
I watched an Alex Jones video last night. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but about how him and Elon are on some kind of Ukrainian MI6 tied death threat deal that's going on right now as we speak.
Is that why he posted the other day was like, he's getting hit from all sides?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, it's real. I think it's a real deal. Like, I watched the video last night, and he's not one to really sugarcoat shit. So,
Well, that's the craziest thing. Elon. You're the richest man in the world.
and they're trying to tear him apart, dude.
They're taking his company. He's up there saying, "Hey, I'm going to go get those astronauts," and the media's like, "Oh, I can't believe he's getting those astronauts." I'm like, "What are we going to do? Like,
you gonna
leave him
leave
up
him
there
up
and die?"
Come on, dude.
You know what I mean? Like,
He's
what?
not going to be able to do anything right? Because they're going to spin every single thing to
No, what's going
negatively
to happen
against
is
him.
good always prevails. And what's going to happen is when they get the thing sorted out and people are like, "Oh, man, there was a plan. Oh, man, there was a science behind it. Oh, man, this is what America should look like." And people are going to prosper, and they're going to make a lot of money, and people are going to have opportunity to make a lot of money and come up through the system. Right now, it's so tough to come up through the system. You almost have to be a freaking psycho. You know what I mean? You have to sacrifice every little inch of your soul, your time, your body, your health, your mindset, your friends, your family, just to get ahead. And most people are not willing to do that.
Yeah.
It didn't used to be that way. You know what I mean? You used to be able to go through the system because the system was not so corrupt and have an opportunity. You know, what did you learn growing up? My mom was a school teacher. Make good grades.
Oh, yeah.
Do what you say you're going to do. Go to college, and you'll get a really good job and have an opportunity to move up. That's not how it is anymore.
No, and yeah, we could probably spend another 30 minutes on the indoctrination of the kids, but I'm not going to get into all that. But, but the crash is coming. Okay, the crash is coming, and it's going to be very, very purposeful. He got a reason for it, and so you guys hang on. Okay, it's going to be probably a tough couple of years, in my opinion. So hang on to your hats. It's going to get better.
Diversify.
Don't be sad. If you're sad, diversify. Yeah.
Crypto, baby.
Ooh, crypto.
I mean, that's nothing.
Ripple.
God, get me all
Ripple
worked
to
up.
the
You're getting me all
moon.
worked up.
Ripple to the moon.
I'm broke. I'm going to keep on buying the dips.
That's what they say to do.
I'm out of money.
Well, that's what they say to do, man. You got to quit being scared.
Come on, Trump. I need that crypto to go up. I'm out of money. The dips are killing me.
Yeah, just take over the Swift system with the Ripple,
for
would you?
Watching, is there gold in Fort Knox?
I was going to say that earlier. Yeah, where's the gold? Where is the gold? I still want to see the video. They were talking about having a video and going through Fort Knox.
Well, they're talking about a lot of things. They're talking about Epstein files. I don't know where those are. JFK, right? What happened to that? Haven't got that yet.
Yeah, that's all right now. Mystery.
Martin Luther King. We haven't got that either.
They're holding all that shit tight right now.
Why are they doing that?
I don't know. I was asking myself that. And I went down the wormhole last night about one of those videos on the Epstein thing, and they sent out basically the same information in the last report. The Pam Bondi sent out was the last, but they snuck in a couple things at the very end. I was watching Alex Jones last night. They snuck in a couple things at the end, and I'm not going to spoil it, or you guys go check it out, but they snuck in a couple things that nobody really caught at the very end. So it's going to get dicey, I think. And I think that there's a lot of things going on in the background right now, and they can't just come out and say it, because I think it'd fuck up the investigation, in my opinion. So I think it's going to get real weird real quick when it comes to this Epstein file thing. So you watch and find out.
Here's another thing,
on the edge of my
Let's end
seat.
this on a positive note. The positive thing is the media spins it. If you are watching this from India, China, Canada, Mexico, Europe, I know everybody right now feels like in our media here in the U.S., it makes it feel like that everybody is hating on us and they're pissed off at us. And you read all these, TikTok deals, and Canadians are booing our American flag and Pledge Allegiance.
Yeah. Sad.
And same thing in European, right? But the American people are not mad at other countries. We're not mad. I'd never go around and people are like, man, I hate Canada and I hate this. They're like, no, we're stupid. We made a bad deal and now we got to correct it. I get why you're mad. Nobody likes money taken out of their pocket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we're not mad. We just got to correct it. We love all these countries. I don't think Trump hates them. I think Trump's like, hey, man, we love you. We want to keep on doing business with you. But it has to be fair. It has to be fair, but for both sides.
It's all about fair.
You want to buy?
It's
we
all
want to
about
buy
business.
your still.
It's all about business.
We want to buy your still, but it has to be fair.
Yep.
And we want to sell you our goods, but it has to be fair.
And I want to bring it back here so we don't have to depend on other
And
people.
if we do have agreement, like any other business agreement, and you do not pay your fair share, you get kicked the F out. You know what I mean? You don't keep on making profits and participating.
That's right.
Right? If you have a partner and he doesn't pay and he's overspending, you kick him out. Because if you don't, he takes down the whole ship.
That's right. So if you liked our podcast today, make sure you subscribe,
You get me all worked up, damn.
share with all your Republican friends and your Democrat friends, both alike, because I'm sure they'd love it, right?
I mean, I like them all.
I'm at the podcast.
I'm just pro-America.
Pro-America. Let's go.